Hello everyone. It has been a while since I've done a video tutorial for you. And anyway, I thought today would be a good day to reboot that. Today I'm gonna talk through the chest lift that we are coming into a lot in Pilates. You're gonna see the chest lift in your mat classes. If you take mat, that's part of that ab series, the 100, the ab series of 5. You're going to see it in the reformer classes when you do your 100, your coordination series, and other things. So it's a good skill to have. It's also good for you to know what we're looking for as Pilates teachers, because it may look different in different modalities and different classes. So let's get into it, okay? I'm gonna lie on my back. So we're just gonna use really the mat today. We're not gonna go into the reformer room. And I'm gonna show you what I'm looking for, and what I have been taught is a proper chest lift for Pilates, right? So I'm gonna bring my one hand behind my head, and so that you can see what my neck is doing. So when I'm asking for people to come into a chest lift or lift their head and shoulders, I'm looking for this. I'm looking for their sternum to actually come up, and I'm looking for their ears to be more perpendicular to the mat. So I am nodding my chin towards my chest. I'm not jamming my chin into my chest. There's a little bit of space, but my shoulders are lifted and the bottom tips of my shoulder blades are still on the mat. All right, I'm not coming up any higher than that. And this is a considerable amount of abdominal work. And then we'll come back down. I'll do that one more time. So I'm just keeping one hand on my belly just to kind of remind myself to draw in. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, I'm going to nod my chin, roll my ears forward, pick my shoulders up, and then bring my upper back off the mat. Bottom tips of the shoulder blades are still on the mat here. All right, so this is where I would want to be to do 100 beats, right? Or anytime I want to come up into a chest lift for abdominal work and then back down. That's what I'm looking for in my classes and in my clients. Now, if that's problematic for you, if you don't have that mobility in your upper thoracic spine to do that, and I do think it's more of a mobility issue, it's not so much of an abdominal strength situation, you've got choices. So let me just show you what I often see when people don't have that ability to flex forward in their spine. I see compensation with the head. So let's say we're on the reformer doing the 100 beats, your hands are in your handles. I see this, all right? So the head, the chin juts up, but the shoulders don't move, okay? There's that. That's gonna cause neck issues. It's gonna hurt your neck. Then I will see a combo of the chin, maybe a little bit of shoulder, but then the head is kind of like hanging back. And so when people start their pulses, it's like they're panicking, it's like they're drowning. And that's not good either. So when you get into those situations, then I start to hear, oh, that hurts my neck. We don't want to hurt your neck doing Pilates. We want to strengthen your neck. We want to strengthen your body, right? So if coming up into that thoracic flexion is not available to you, we have choices, okay? And one would be just to keep your head down and just work the legs as best you can and draw your abdominals in. Maybe this is not a good leg position for you. Maybe you're better here, right? And just work on the breathing and the pumping. So let's take this into a roll-up situation. So you're on your mat, you're doing your mat work. So you're not staying in this fixed thoracic flexion, you're rolling through it. Now I have my little handy dandy foot strap here today on my Cadillac. That's not a cheat. That was designed by Mr. Pilates. He always had straps on his mats. We do not. So it's particularly challenging to do a roll up without that strap. This is a lovely little tool to have in your toolbox. All right, let's roll on down to the mat. All right, so we're going to start from this lying down position. You would have your arms up. So if you're doing a roll up, you would nod your chin to your chest, look towards your toes, and you would try to peel your spine off the mat and maybe follow through in a forward fold. And then you would go back down the same way. All right? And I might be making it look easy, but let me just tell you, the foot strap really helps. I still feel my abdominals working. Okay? And then all the way back down. Of course, you could always have your knees bent. So some people have limitations in their low back. So having your knees bent would be an option for you. And then you could straighten at the top for that forward fold. And then rebend and roll on back. Notice how my chin is still knotted towards my chest. And then back down. So that's what I'm looking for in a chest lift in Pilates. Some of you who, again, have been in different modalities or some group X classes that are, core centric or core focused, might have been taught to do this. Take your little fairy fingers, bring them behind your ears, barely touch your head. Keep your chin off your chest and lift here and back down. I'm not getting very high. Lifting and lowering. Now, I don't really have a problem with that idea as long as you know how to engage your abdominals. But what I see a lot, and I think it's a strong tendency, and I hope you can see it in this t-shirt I'm wearing. But when people just keep their head in that fixed position and try to work their abs, watch my belly. They poke up and back down, right? They push out into their abdominal wall and back down. And you might not be able to see it on me, but I'm going to work really hard to keep my abdominal wall pulled in and lift. And that's a different exercise. Okay? See if you can see it again. Maybe not. Lifting and lowering. So that might be a great way to work your abs and to strengthen your core without flexing your neck. I think my question in that situation would be, why are you avoiding flexing your neck? We flex our necks every day, all right? Looking down at something, looking at your phone. I mean, we are in neck flexion so much. So what are we protecting by not flexing our neck? We've got all these muscles in our neck that need to be worked. So drawing your chin in, flexing, going into, we call it capital flexion, coming into this, away from gravity. If that's not hurting you, if you don't have some kind of issue in your cervical vertebra that says, no, don't do that, that's healthy spinal movement, and we want to encourage that. So the next time, or I'm going to do another tutorial about neck extension, which is also something that I see really avoided in a group X situation for, it's like, ooh, don't move the neck. But I want to do a tutorial that shows you a safe, effective, and good way to exercise those neck muscles and then bring it into your upper back, because we actually need more of that. And we want to exercise the muscles in our neck in a safe, practical way. So that was just a little tutorial on what I'm looking for as a Pilates teacher in your chest lift, your head lift, or also can be called thoracic flexion, especially in our abdominal work. So I hope that helps. And be on the lookout for more movement tutorials coming up. And if there's a particular movement or exercise that you have a question about, I would love to hear from you. That gives me ideas, and I'm always looking for more ideas for great content. Anyway, just look at that a few times, maybe practice that on your own, and I look forward to seeing you in class. Have a great day.